Yeah.
I should have. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you're going to beat Fleck, but that feels like what?
It just it is yeah. It's like anything. You're just I'm always, I hate to say it, it's you're just always trying to win a championship. Those are the things that really matter. The amount of games you coach is how long you've done it. The biggest thing love the guys that I've coached. You see Jalen Noel out there. Those are the fun, when you go back and you look at the games that you've coached, wins and losses, it's the people that you're with that make it the experience incredible. And I've had a great experience. Seeing him just puts a huge smile on my face, and seeing the way that the crowd received him was pretty special for him and his family. And for our kids tonight, we've had our ups and downs. They stayed with it, kept getting better, kept being coached, kept a positive attitude, kept playing hard, and we're finding ways. So that's what I'm really proud of tonight. That's what it signifies for me.
Yeah, 5 guys in double figures.
Yeah.
And nobody else.
Yeah. I didn't score either. Will Conroy didn't score. A pretty good player. Quincy didn't score. You know what? It was a little bit struggle offensively. I thought we started the game exceptionally well, and what happened is that my alarm? That's okay. I felt like there was a point in the game where we were really rolling. We got it in transition, and we tried to hit some home runs, just a couple turnovers that could have extended the lead. We went through that little period. But got to give Oregon State a lot of credit. They played a zone. They kind of mixed it up a little bit, confused us a little bit, kept us off rhythm. But we were able to go to the foul line and make enough shots to win the game. Wasn't pretty, but I found a way.
So 6 degrees, baby. I said, and again, like tonight would be. It's good. They only have one.
Yeah, it's good. They try to keep a low possession. We try to pull up the pressure a little bit to get more possessions. I thought Jamal Bay played terrific today. We found him in transition. He got in rhythm, made 3 of them. I thought that was a big part, but it all started out of our defense. Our defense, I felt, really did a good job tonight, for the most part, of making him take tough shots. Made Pope really uncomfortable. This team, I think they're second or third in our league in terms of, if they average 65 points a game, most of their majority of points comes from the 3-point line. So we did a good job taking that out tonight.
He did go for stepping out of the bounce.
I think Corin Johnson and Keon Mayfield can play 3 games now. Like it looks like, that's it. Now, if I had to say Keon Brooks and Braxton, but they're on the back line. It's been good for us. Those 2 guys, and even when PJ's in there, Cole, they keep you uncomfortable. I think that's what defenses do. I felt like you were keeping them really uncomfortable tonight. They didn't know if we were coming, if we were sitting back. That's been a good addition.
Anyway, for a son.
Yeah.
Speed that day. It was Mac was at what Farrell was in the first. That was they defined, but it's the bats.
Yeah.
So.
Whereas the great John Wooden say, play fast but don't hurry. So it's the same thing. I think what we were doing is, we've got, when Corin is in the game and Keon Mayfield, we've got 2 dynamic guards with the ball that really find players. We've got to find them a little bit earlier. And if you have somebody ahead, just pass it up. And that's where we were doing a little bit too much. Maybe that was trying to go a little bit too fast.
I think that's quite all since I'm occupied. This is time to beat this Gala the best game.
Yeah.
Back though. It felt like tonight was one of those games where give me big goals.
You know what? It's listen. The referees. It's hard to be a referee. I always think it's exceptionally hard to be a coach. It's hard to win games, but those guys, it's a thankless job. But I will tell you, it's been a lot more physical in college basketball this year. Coaches always complain. I've done it on my end where you're like, gosh, they've gone to the foul line 12 times to R2, or it's 8 fouls to 2. And human nature it kind of keeps in your head. I felt like there was some times, and most important to me is that the players are protected. And, these guys are professionals and they know how to toe the line and understand that. But it is a physical game. I kept telling our guys, listen, don't anticipate calls. Play through contact. As long as it's even, I'm good.
With that thing, how much then do you advocate for a guy like Braxton without talking about?
It's the hardest thing because I'm a whiner. No, I'm kidding. My wife says I am, at least. I don't know what the referees say. And I love, the interaction, like, talking to the referees at the end of a game, win or lose. Like, just they're humans. They're great people. And at the end of the day, it's. I just want to know if you see it's being physical, man. We got to be tougher. We just do, and that's as long as it's even, which it usually is. You just got to play through contact, finish through contact. Sometimes Braxton waits and tries to pivot, just get it and go up. But for the most part, he was pretty darn good.
Can you get start with this man?
I wish. He works really, really hard. I think sometimes he gets in trouble when he tries to put the ball on the floor, rather than gather. A lot of big guys, like in a teaching point, when you try to gather to do a vertical jump, what do your hands do? You go like this to gather and you go up. So big guys, if they're up to try to go down, that's why a lot of big guys bring the ball down. So you'll see Coach Q and Coach Jones do a lot of drills with him, keeping the ball high, but also being low, where he just doesn't hesitate and he can just go up to the basket. Habits are hard to break. You just got to keep working on that stuff every day. But right hand half, left hand half are pretty good when he's deep. But obviously something he needs to keep getting better at.
How far is?
I think unbelievable. The foul shooting, if you would have said that he's going to shoot 7% from the foul line, where he shot 37 or something last year, I don't know exactly. But he is a guy who's worked so hard. And for big guys to be able to make foul shots, it is a huge deal. Even to have him in the game, in high games. But I think it was funny because I used to always say in here, I played like 14 minutes a game or 18. And then Quincy comes up to me and says, Coach, he averaged like 7 minutes a game last year. And for him, now we're asking him to play 32, 34. What a great learning deal, but very, very difficult. And I think he's done a tremendous job. That's the thing. When you watch him, and they're probably, this is one of those games I felt like it could have been plus more five, by position and physicality.
Foul. It is super right out there.
He didn't look like that to me today. And, I thought he was, 12 and 11, 2 block shots, 35 minutes, being that big. You got to remember, big guys run from baseline to baseline. Guards run from foul line to foul line. So you're going baseline to baseline, and he's getting double teamed, and the biggest guy on the court is hitting him in his back. And so I'm just really proud of him. I think he's done a heck of a job.
Machine.
What I forced at the beginning of the year, I thought we had the best two-headed monster in the country because he could play for 20 minutes. He was playing 20, and then you could put Frank in so you could play all out. He's had to learn to play with foul trouble. And then not only at the Oregon game, he had 4 fouls. He had 3 blocks in overtime by walling up because Coach Jones and Coach Pondexter worked on him of making sure defending without fouling. That's a hard thing at this level. And so those things, those habits, you're starting to see him being able to play like that and still protecting the rim. Earlier in the year, it was like, okay, foul trouble. He just went out of the way because he didn't want to pick up another foul. And so those are little things that people don't see that are just huge improvements because without rim protection, where is our defense? And when you had him and Frank, he could get 3 fouls. Frank's in. Okay, you could play harder. Okay, he goes in, that guy goes in. And you wear down the other team. You have great rim protection, and you can play all out of the 100%.
No, this is the cat.
Yeah, he's just had a lot of hurt. and we're just doing everything we can to make sure that he's healthy, and that's the most important thing.
Just stop the chain. Oh my God.
Yeah. When you had him on your team, you felt like you came in with 25 security guards, because at the end of game there was no better closer. You get it on the elbow, you get it 1-4 low. He produced, he finished. Big moments, didn't shy away from them. I can go down game by game. First game against Belmont when he had 32 and he tied the record, I think, for freshman. When we beat that tough Belmont team, he just a special player. But just seeing the way the crowd responded to him and how proud he was to play here, represented here, and the love that he gave the coaches, and he's going to come on Monday and we're going to get together. That's what this whole thing is about, right?
The pre-cut, the roads over.
Yeah.
Pale.
Yeah. When you feel sometimes like you're on the island and you're swinging and you're fighting, and you get a guy that says, I do, and he wants to be a part of it. And he wanted to know who we were. He knew who Will was, he knew who Cam was, he needed to know who I was. Spent a lot of time with him. And when someone says he wants to come play for you and build a legacy here, it's pretty special stuff. Those are when we talk about moments. Those are the moments that are brain tattoos.